Hello everyone, this is Kushal Kumar from Club of Programmers IIT BHU, and today I will be going to give you a brief intro about the Git Add command. So the major thing of the Git Add command is to add the changed or untracked files from the working directory to the staging area, where Git overlooks for the changes in these files, exactly what changes are made, and then you can commit those changes to your local repository, and then you can push those changes to the remote repository. So basically we can say that Git Add adds untracked or change files from working directory to the staging area so that Git can look for the specific changes which are made in that files. Now, I've already created a project repo which consists of five files: file1.txt, file2.txt, test.css, and test.txt. The first two are untracked files, and the last two are modified files. Let's see how we will add a particular file to the staging area. Let me use git status to show the status. Here you can see that two files are modified and two files are untracked. Suppose if I want to add file1.txt, I can what I will do is I will use git add file1.txt, and if I use git status again, I can see that the file1.txt is added to the staging area. Is it here? Changes to be committed. The staging area. It is added to the file. Okay. So I would just reset it. So in general, if you want to add a single file, what you can do is you can use git add file name. So if you're working with a single file, it's easy. Now suppose what if I want to add two files of them, two files from these files or three files. What I would do is I would do git add file1.txt, test.css, test.txt, all with a space in between the file names, and I would press enter. And if I use git status again, I would see that three files are present in the staging area, which are added: file1.txt, test.css, and test.txt. So this is how you will work with if you want to add multiple files with the same add command. So I would just reset these changes using git reset and save the status and clear. Our branch, as you can see, has now no state changes. Now it works fine if they have 5 or 6 files. You can write the file names. But what if there are hundreds of files? How would you do that? For that, you can use git add -a command. It's quite easy. It adds all the files which are present in your current working directory, all the changed files, which are changed means they are either modified or untracked to the current working, which are present in the current working directory, to the staging area, so that you commit them, or you can and commit them and then push them. So that's how you can add all the different files. It's useful when you want to add say 10 or 20 of files and do not want to write specific file names. So for adding the multiple files, you can use git add -a command. -a stands here for all. So these are the normal commands which a user would use, and these are majorly used by every people. But I would also explain a more advanced, intermediate to advanced command, which is patch, which is done using git add -p. The -p stands flag here stands for patch command. So if I click enter here, I would be shown a difference of modified files. A modified files, okay, uh, where this modified file stands for the test.css. Okay, well, here I'm shown few variables y, n, q, a, d, s, e, and print, and not print, question mark. So let's see how we can explore these options. I would first use question mark. So printing Pressing question mark would give me a brief intro about all the what these options stands for. You can read it here, where Y stands for staging the hunk, and stands for do not staging, and the rest which follows here. You can read these chunks, read the help here using the print help. We have used that. Now, what do we mean by hunk? Well, any addition which are represented by plus green changes, or any deletion which you do in a file, are represented as hunks. So these are the basic hunks which you are present. Now the real use case, suppose that in a project you want to change the color and the font size of two different of a particular say font. Now what you can do generally is that you can create two separate issues. For generally everyone would create two separate issues with one branch for each. Suppose that you have already created a branch and both the uh, changes you have made in the same file. Now what to do in this case, you would need to selectively push specific portions of code so that you can commit them as separate issues, and then correspondingly and then you want to make them as separate issues and then push them, commit them, so that they can be they can be created for separate PRs correspondingly. So how do you do that is by splitting the hunks. Okay, so let us start. As you can see here, this all is a hunk, but suppose that we only wanted to change the color, not the font size. So what we can do is we can split this bigger portion hunk into a smaller one. So let's use S command, the split command. S, and here it is the hunk which stands for change color black. We wanted to change the color. Yes, we do want to change the color, so I will stage this hunk. Cool. I do not want to stage this hunk because I do not want this hunk to be committed to my particular thing. So I would say N. I don't want this hunk to be committed. Okay, cool. It would shows me now the another change in another file. I do not want this file also to be committed. So I would write N. I don't want this chunk to be committed, hunk to be committed. And if I see the get status, I can see that test.css also staged and test.css is also modified. So if we go via UI, we can see that the change class is added to the stage changes, which means the color black is added in the staged changes, whereas another change is still present as unstaged change. So this is how we can selectively stage portions of code and then commit them correspondingly and have more power and flexibility over commit messages and git add command. So apart from these flags, there are a few different more flags which are present in git add. They are dry run, verbose, and some more. The link to those will be present in the description box below, and also the link to the documentation will be present. I hope I was able to clarify some of your doubts regarding the Git Add, and I was able to explain you what Git Add does. Thank you. Have a nice day.